Happy New Year, Rattler fans. Talkin Rattlers back and better than ever with the banter is never out of season. I hope you remember us. Chad Peters, David Tovar. And Chad, really a Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year, my friend.
My partner. Congratulations, Mr. Chad. Some big news. The heir to the throne, baby boy Austin, was born December
11th. Healthy.
I'll let you tell.
Healthy. Yeah. Very fortunate. Very blessed to have him. That's for sure.
Definitely times for celebration.
Without a doubt. And we heard some big news in the Tovar household this holiday season as well. This Christmas break, your brother Raul, all you Talkin Rattler fans know him very well, getting hired by the mothership at ESPN in Bristol, Connecticut.
Hey, howdy from Texas to Connecticut. I know Raul's watching, big fella. Congratulations.
We better not end up on the not top 10 tonight.
We better make it in some capacity. I'll take first take or anywhere of those sorts. But yeah, so congratulations, Roll. We're so proud of you. We're holding down for you. And yeah, production. He's doing video archives, I believe. So he's going to be going through our old Rattler tapes, the old Romo interceptions, the 9, and we will talk about the Cowboys. We won't avoid.
Do we have to?
They want to see us talk about our Cowboys. We won't avoid it. But first, even more news coming here from St. Mary's. New AD.
Yeah, Elizabeth Dalton, if you might have heard the news already, has been announced as the new athletics director here at St. Mary's. So, Liz, if you are watching, not only welcome, but a congratulations on getting that post. We could not be more excited to have her here at St. Mary's, hopefully here on Talkin Rattlers in the upcoming weeks as well. Liz has spent the last 12 years at UTSA in an athletics administrative role there, serving as the deputy athletics director to the renowned AD Lynn Hickey, and also has experience working in Notre Dame's football program and worked at Texas A&M, where she graduated from school and was a women's soccer player. So, I mean, just a well-rounded background all the way around. We could not be happier to have her here at St. Mary's University. Yeah,
welcome aboard to the Rattler family, and hopefully some of the litany of successes of that you mentioned, Aggies, Irish, Roadrunners, and now our Rattlers. Hopefully we join that list as well.
Definitely.
Speaking of more success, our St. Mary's men's and women's basketball team, they have been terrific. And we'll go gentlemen first. New year, 10-1 start. They have been terrific. Kotzer, how many Heartland Conference Player of the Week awards has he racked up? Two?
I believe 2 this season.
Daryl Taylor had the first one. Mo Sandufu's picking it up, and that's the X factor. Christian Bauer has just fit into this point guard role terrifically. He's definitely been a steal in the recruiting class to go alongside Justin Alexander, Fred Wilson. I mean, I could name you the whole roster. They've been playing terrific at 10-1.
And almost nationally ranked, essentially 27th in the country. If you look at the top 25, they're number 2 in the also receiving votes category, so just barely missed out.
Write your congressman to get us in there.
Send your vote in if you have not already cast that ballot. But this week, a big matchup on Saturday against Newman, who's ranked number 18 in the country. If the Rattlers are able to beat the Jets, you'll probably see them in the top 25 next week. And, you know, we talk a lot about Kevin Kotzer here on the show, in large part because there's a lot to talk about. And the big boy's putting in a huge season. Number 1 all-time in St. Mary's history in blocks. He's moved up in the top 4 in career rebounds and is in the top 5 in career points. We could potentially see a guy who gets in the neighborhood of 2,000 points, 1,000 rebounds when it's all said and done this year.
The Ivory Tower, as Mr. ESPN dubbed him. He has been terrific, and we might see him there as well.
Yep.
The Rattlers also have a huge game on Thursday night against St. Edwards. Always a fun one. Everybody coming back to school. Make it out to that one. I believe a 7:30 start time on Thursday night.
A Battle of Saints contest will be honoring a lot of academic and athletic successes from this past season. 13 student athletes in all from the men's golf, baseball, and softball teams will be honored at halftime of the men's game that night.
Then moving on to the ladies, they also have a game on Thursday night before the men, 5:30 against St. Edwards as well. But the Lady Rattlers have been terrific, and again, we talk about it on the broadcast.
Yeah.
New faces have been terrific. 2 that stand out in particular: Leah Kiowa, Desi Elias, a freshman phenom. If you haven't seen her, of Steve Nash-esque in height, but big game like Manu. That's for our Spurs fans here. And then Leah Kiowa, Kawhi Leonard, if you're a Spurs fan. If not, consider a more athletic Mello with a better touch for the basketball. I mean, she's terrific. What I'm trying to say is these 2 ladies, I think Arizonian, both of them, just terrific influx we got from there to go along. Your usual suspects: Jackie Woods, Liz Boyd, Felicia Jacobs, Mo Pullins. I mean, a loaded roster too. Coach Martin's even told me maybe the most loaded team he's ever had.
Yeah, depth is just insane. A 10 deep roster, and that's really the biggest problem Coach Martins has every night is you have all this talent. You want to make sure you use it all right, but it's a good problem to have for him. You talk about the point guard situation. What I've been interested in watching is really the way Desi and Liz push each other. You see Liz Boyd's game has just gone back to that level we used to see when she was a freshman player of the year, and a phenomenal assist turnover ratio this year. The ball movement I think is key. When the Rattlers are on top of their game, the ball is moving all over the court. And you talk about that depth, and it's the well-rounded nature. There's no leading score. It could be Morgan Pullins with 20 one night, Jackie Woods with 27 another night. It could be Felicia Jacobs with 18 and 10 rebounds one night. It could be Leah Kiowa. We saw her go off last week. Any one player, and that makes it tough for defenses to guard against.
And really, we remember a team from last year that began 1-9. They were able to sneak into the Heartland Conference tournament at the 4 seed. This team isn't going to be sneaking anywhere. They're definitely on everybody's radar, and they've gotten off to a hot start. So definitely some exciting basketball they play, too. They play a fun running gun, wheeling dealing kind of thing. It's a lot of fun to watch.
If you haven't come out to the gym and seen them, you have to come out to Bill Grahey Arena. Next week would be a good time with that Battle of the Saints matchup, 5:30 Thursday, January 17th against St. Edwards. Very fun to watch. And the men are so good, but we've talked about this upstairs in the booth quite often. I mean, it's a debate which team's more fun to watch because they're both so good, free-flowing, but that women's team has really got it going on right now.
Yeah, and of course, for the latest, stay tuned, facebook.com/St. Mary's Rattlers. Also, follow us on Twitter @St. Mary's Rattlers. And, of course, RattlerAthletics.com. And before we head to our first break, I don't know if you can hear back there some pitching, some mitts, some dings of the collegiate baseball bats. Got our St. Mary's Rattlers and number 1 preseason ranked St. Mary's Rattlers baseball.
2 different polls, they're ranked number 1, and just virtually every other poll they're ranked in the top 5 as well. So big expectations for these guys, and it's no question why. You have 2 All-American arms coming back in Renee Solis and Carl O'Neill, both who led the nation in wins last season. And by the way, I discovered this interesting factoid today with Carl O'Neill, pointed out by pitching coach Chris Ermis. He told me, check out what the consecutive win streak is, record in Division II college baseball. It's 21. Carl's not there yet, but his win streak going back to his sophomore season, he's won his last 17 games. So potentially a historic mark in the making for Mr. O'Neill.
That's
shout out to JP as well, Jonathan Perez, the saves leader from last year. Don't want to discount him from that national consideration.
And to the rest of our number 1 ranked Rattlers, well, we'll take a break. Stay with us. More Talkin Rattlers upcoming, where the banter is never out of season.
So, in an effort to boost morale and spirit on campus, we thought we'd implement Rattler Rattlers into the hall. Locked out, locked out, locked out. Woo! Have we taken this a little too far? Probably.
Welcome back, Rattler fans. Talkin Rattlers back. Better than ever, where the banter is never out of season. Chad Peters, David Tovar, your returning heroes. Not returning is Rob Ryan for the Cowboys. Chad, I don't want to talk about the Redskins game. I don't want to talk about what happened. Let's look forward. Let's look for progress. How do you fix the Cowboys?
I don't know if firing Rob Ryan was the first step to fixing him.
All right, fine, true.
I texted a friend, scapegoat was the first thing that stepped to my mind there. I've said for a few years now, if it didn't get any better, I don't know if you can keep going forward with the Jason Garrett, Tony Romo combination. And unfortunately, from a Cowboys fan standpoint, it seems like they're going to keep going, kind of just moving the train forward as it is right now with that combo and the status quo. And I don't know if that's really the way they should be doing it, but I don't know. What do you think?
You know I'm a diehard Tony Romo. Friends watching this, I'm a diehard Tony Romo fan.
Your middle name is Tony Romo.
It will be Tony Romo. When I have a little Austin, it'll be Romo in the middle. I think you stick with him. I think you stick with Romo. I think you give it 1 more year. This team really showed what they could do down the stretch. I don't think Rob Ryan was the right way to go about firing him. But I think you give Romo a shot. Garrett, I like you. I wish he wasn't with us on the team. But I think you hold out. I think you give it 1 more year.
Sure.
1 more year of the regime. We've had worse administrations
Definitely.
in government. So I think you give the Cowboys one more year.
That wasn't where I thought you were going, but okay.
I got a little political savvy there. But yeah, you give the regime one more year. You let Romo go. I think he's. What's a better option? Mike Vick? My buddy Matt? No. Mark Sanchez?
There's no better option available right now. I think moving forward, I do wonder if Romo's time is coming to an end down the road. I think next year he's back without a doubt. Contract is up, though. He'll be 34 the next offseason. Do you devote big money to that guy? And for all the doubters and haters out there, he will get a good contract from somebody because the numbers he puts up are so good. He's going to get some money from somebody. Johnny Manziel, maybe. I mean, maybe.
I'm wearing maroon because I'm holding out. I'm holding out for Manziel. Yeah, and the Cotton Bowl with Manziel, you text me. Hopefully he makes this a permanent address in Cowboy Stadium and lights up the roof like he did in the Cotton Bowl. So, I mean, unless we're getting Manziel, keep Romo and let's see where we go next year.
They have to strengthen both lines. I mean, that's really the bottom line. Defensive line, offensive line, got to get better there.
And you got to get a healthy DeMarco. The digit has to heal for Dez. And, I mean, now it's just, I mean, for you it's been a longer time. You've been an avid Cowboy fan for the last, 15 years maybe?
Since 95. I'd say since 94. Okay. So almost 18, 19 years.
18, 19. Okay, yeah, and you've been, it's been, the last couple have been off just hope and prayer and eating your vitamins. And I'm going to have to go with that now as well. I just have a hope we can do it. A team that, however, isn't relying on that is the Spurs. They've been terrific.
Yeah. Handing it to the Lakers just last night.
Yesterday, a depleted Laker team.
Sure.
I don't know how proud you are.
Tony Morano, if he's watching right now, he's already called it Lakers not making the playoffs.
And we'll hold him to that.
I think that's a potentially a valid prediction. That squad has problems.
And somebody asked, well, I have to call my own number. Huh? I didn't get a chance to talk about it.
Not the first time he's done this.
That hasn't been the last time we were here. I forgot to mention that my Miami Heat won the championship. I had that one correctly predicted.
This is David patting himself on the back.
And you'll do it for me. Thank you so much, Mr. Chad. However, I'm going to go with the same prediction this year. My Heat will roll. Roll Heat.
I think it's a valid prediction. I don't know if
I'm not going too far on a limb.
I think the Spurs have a valid shot or a legit shot to get there.
You know what?
To get to the finals.
Just so friends and family see this on tape, the Spurs are good, and they're legit. Thunder and Clippers are a little better.
Clippers are looking good.
Yeah. And we'll just bring it back home. Hopefully, teams we will see in the championship contentions. Lady Rattlers, our men's Rattler basketball team, and, of course, our baseball team that is practicing right now.
And we have to say, speaking about the baseball team, Coach Charlie Meagle has been just done a valiant job here the last 12 years as athletics director. Liz Dalton coming in, kind of a passing of the torch, so to speak. And Coach Meagle will go back to coaching full-time just baseball and trying to win those more national championships like they've been in contention here doing these last few years. And ranked number 1 in the preseason, a good chance to do that. I think a lot of exciting things going on here. We started the show talking about that. We got men's and women's basketball teams, baseball and softball teams down the road, all vying for national championships. It's going to be a fun spring here.
Yeah, I think that's bad news for every other baseball team that now Coach Meagle will be strictly devoted, if he wasn't already, just strictly baseball. And
that's the thing. You think about all the paperwork and all the phone calls and all the things he was having to do from an administrative standpoint before, and the team was still doing what they were doing. And no small part because of assistant coaches Chris Ermis, Ryan Femuth, and the graduate assistants they have this year, Sky Severance and Tyler Meagle. But that's a good staff. It's going to be fun to see what they do here in the coming months.
It will be fun indeed. And you can follow all the action on, I think it's time to announce it, on an all-new TalkinRattlers.com, which is set to launch. I mean, the man behind it.
There is no TalkinRattlers.com.
RattlerAthletics.com. We have a little part of it.
Yeah, don't bookmark TalkinRattlers.com, please.
You can do that. Fine. We should make our Facebook, though.
That was a shout-out to Rattlers Report, or Rowdy Rattlers Report there.
They're still around, maybe? I don't know. But the funny thing is, RattlerAthletics.com.
Yeah, that's the place to be. Yeah. January 29th. Be sure to hit the refresh button a few times that day. We'll be launching an all-new looking website. David can hardly control himself at this point. The website will be totally revamped. You're going to love what you see. They're all more fan interactivity, links, videos, stories, pictures, you name it. It's going to be a fun thing for the athletes, for the fans, and for everybody involved here at St. Mary's Athletics.
Yeah, I got to see a little sneak peek. It's pretty sweet. RattlerAthletics.com.
And David's one of the cool kids these days, so if we get his seal of approval,
RattlerAthletics.com. I'll say it one more time. So nice. I'll say it thrice. RattlerAthletics.com. And as well as our Facebook, Facebook.com/St. Mary's Rattlers. Follow us on Twitter. You'll see it on the bottom of the screen at St. Mary's Rattlers. And of course, January 29th, you said?
Yes, sir.
hit refresh a couple times. RattlerAthletics.com. For Chad Peters, David Tovar, Robin Johnson man the camera, Scott Fonger helped to set this up. To Bristol with love, you've been watching Talkin Rattlers, where the banter is never out of season.